Alright, hello everybody, this is Taylor with FDC Gaming Community coming at you again with a new video on how to put Australia on an Exile server. Okay, let's get started. You're going to need a couple things. First thing you're going to need is a way to edit the files. I recommend Notepad++. Plus I'm going to have a link to all the downloads I recommend in the description. And then you're going to need something to open up the files. I recommend PPO Manager. And then you're also going to need something to edit the maps, because if you're going to put Australia on an Exile server, you are going to pretty much have to start from scratch. Put the spawn endpoints, put in the vendors. But actually, come to find out, I found another thing that works that I use on my server, and it's called this, the Portable Trade Zone. And it works really, really good. So for one thing, and I am going to send an email or a message to the person that created this and ask him to put in the airplane vendors. But all I did on mine was I put in, the planes and helicopters under the vehicle vendor. And I'll show you how to do that too on this video. So let's get started. First things first, you want to download all of this, which I already have. And I went ahead and installed it in the installment folder, which is right here. And if you watched my earlier videos on how to set up a dedicated Exile server, then you pretty much should be at this point. Now let's do one thing. We come back here. Now there's two ways to download Australia. And because AIA and AIA-LP are no longer supported, people are telling you to, use Cup Terrain or Cup Complete or whichever one. And if you go to this link, which I will also link in there, you can download it here and this one here too. Or you can open up Steam and go under the workshop for Armor 3, type in Australia, and go ahead and subscribe to that one. And then you just come in here and type Cup for search. And you got the units, vehicles, weapons. Alright, and you want to subscribe to the terrain one. And you can go ahead and subscribe to the maps, but it's not that big of a deal. As you can tell, I already have. And after they're all done downloading and everything, you can pause the video until they're done. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my Armor 3 file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to copy Australia over to here. Paste it in there. Now I'm going to pause the video while this is doing it. So when this is done, then I'll come back. Okay, Australia is done downloading. Now what we want to do is copy the terrain core and paste it over into your Exile server. Now I'm going to pause this while this is installing everything. Okay, now that's done downloading, so what we want to do now is, while we still got the Armor 3 folder open, click on Australia, go to Keys, copy the key, and put it in your Keys folder in your server. And do the same thing for the terrain core. Without these, your server will not work. Alright, now that we're done that, we can close that. Go back here. I'm going to go ahead and, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to rename this to just Cup. That way it's a lot easier to remember. Alright, now that that's done, we want to go here to MP missions, and then we want to rename this to Australia. Crap. And then after that, we want to go to PBO Manager and then extract it into a file. Now that this is all done, and I didn't realize I had all that on there. Okay, now the next thing to do is to download this file, which I've already downloaded it, and I'll have the link in the description. Copy it, and then paste it into here. And then what we want to do is open up the config file in Notepad++. Scroll all the way down until you see wow, went too far. This area right here. And then we're going to hit enter, and then I will have this in the descriptions. So we want to copy all of this, because all this right here does is tell your server this is the one you want to use. Because with the new version of Exile, they did some stuff where you actually had to put in helicopter pads and invisible ones. But with this folder right here, it allows you to use the one where you don't need nothing. It'll just automatically pick a random spot. Alright, and we save that. We close this because eventually we might have to come back to it. And I'll tell you about why I have this on there here in a minute, because you will have to edit stuff. Alright, now what we want to do is go to back to the install folder. Come over here, unzip this file into this, open it. And what you want to do is copy this and stick it in here. This will allow you to have vendors and everything. I'll be right back, my wife's calling. Okay, sorry about that. Now to get back to what we were talking about. Now, after copying that, click on the README file, and it'll tell you how to install it. Which, all we have to do is put this in here. Open up the instant file. And then paste that in there. Save it, and then close it. And I think that's everything to that one, but I'm not sure. Let me double check. Yep, and it says to edit this file and add in the safe zones. I'll show you how to do that. Because first you're going to need the coordinates and everything. Okay, now that that's done, delete the mission file, because the mission file we're going to create is totally different. Okay, now we backspace out of that, delete the old one here, because once we're done messing with that file, it's going to be all said and done. Key files in there. Alright, now what we want to do is go back into your install folder. And where did it go? Sorry, I thought I had this file downloaded, but I do not, but I will put a link in the description. Now what you want to do is get the M3 editor for Armor 3. Alright, after you install that, you want to put it into your Armor folder. Where did mine go? Oh, I must have closed it. which mine's already in here. It's right here. And then you make sure that the key is in there too, which is right there. And as you can tell, I have a lot of keys on my game because, you know, server that me and my FTC buddies play on, we have a lot of mods. So now that that's all done, we open up Arma. Go to mods. Well, once it's done, and I don't need these on there, but I do need this one, that, and that. And since we're going to edit the map, we want the map editor. Now we hit play. Now I'm going to pause the video while it's loading and everything and come back when it's done. Okay, my Arma server's up. So what we're going to do now is go to editor. And if you did everything right, you should see Australia here. Click on that. And now what we're going to do is create a new map, because you pretty much start out with just a blank slate. Now what we want to do is find a place to put where players spawn in, which I recommend an isolated island like this one right here. Now what we do is double click, go to independent, then we scroll all the way down, min, and we scroll all the way down until we see Exile slot, player slot, right there. And we put this as playable, none. I mean, we can make the skills, it doesn't matter, you can do all this stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. And you don't need a name, don't need anything. This is all we need right here. And, oh, no player selected. Okay. Which is fine. You'll get that because it wants you to, you know, create your own player slot, which we don't need to. Now zoom in as close as you want. And just keep creating this for how many players you want on this server. I'm only going to do 10. You don't have to have them exact perfect. This makes 5. Alright, I made 10 people. So now that that's done, okay, scroll out. Now let's make a spawn point. Now let's go to Darwin. Where do we want? Now, if you want to put vendors and stuff like that, and you want the spawn points to be near vendors, well then, we can just do that. But I'm going to show you how to put in a spawn point. Just click anywhere you want to put a spawn point. Let's put it in Darwin right here in the middle of the woods. Well, first things first, you need to go to, I think it's mods, but let me check. Nope. It's marker. Now you can make this anything you want. I recommend just leaving it empty. Change this to whatever color you want, which I'm just going to leave it at default. Now we're going to name this Spawn Darwin. For spawn point, you have to make sure you put spawn in front of it. And then for text, just Darwin. Now that's done, you can now pretty much just do that at any other place you want to put it at. Let's put another one down here at Victor. I want to get closer to town, so right there. Spawn. Victor. Alright, now that that's done, we want to put in a place for the vendors. Alright, this one you need to click on Unit, and let's put a vendor right here. Let's say I'm going to put the trade vendor for that little mod, that little thing I told you to download for putting in, portable traders. So I'm going to double click here and create me a character because, well, got to see what we're doing. So now that my character's created, we hit preview. Now I'm going to pause it while this is loading and all this stuff, and I'll unpause it when it's done. Okay, Australia's on. As you can tell, I'm a civilian. Now what we want to do is move your mouse and go ahead and click on the 3D editor. Now all we need to do is zoom out and find out where we're going to put this building. Because this is where the traders are going to go. How about we put the traders smack dab right here. So we left double click, which will bring this up. Then we go to the structures category, and then to, darn it, military. And then we come down here to military offices, because that's the building that is going to be used. Then we click on it, move it to where we want it moved to. Now if you hold down shift and left mouse, you can move it around. If you click alternate left mouse, you can make it go up and down by moving the mouse up and down. So what we're going to do is I'm going to delete this and put it back in. Okay. Darn it. I'm going to put it sideways. Move it back a little bit. Put it sideways. And now when the building's exactly where you want it, you can click on the map and, go to anywhere else you want, So we put a spawn point here. Let's put another one right here. Just double click on it, and the camera automatically moves there. Now we're just going to find another place to put another trade vendor. You know what? How about right here? Look at there, we got parking spots there, so that just gave me an idea. We'll put the building right there. close to there as possible. And there. Now that that's done, and then after you got all the buildings of the office, military offices in there that you want, click on Main Menu, Export, SQF. And when that's done doing what it's doing, which it will, you want to save the file somewhere. I'm going to save it on desktop. And we're just going to label this Traders. And now that that's done, hit exit. Whoops. I forgot to do one thing, guys. We want to abort. Yes. And now that we know the spawn, make sure the spawn things are still in there, which they are. We want to delete our character that we created. And go up here and save as multiplayer mission. And I'm going to label this one Test Australia, because I already have an Australia one made, so I just want to make sure. Alright, and then OK. Now that this is done, we exit out of it, leave this open, because I'm going to show you what happens when we're done. Minimize. Now we open up the Documents folder. Go into your Armor 3 server, Missions, and see right here? And as you can tell, I'm working on this one now too. We click on here, open up this, edit it in Notepad. And as you can tell, here is your mission files. Here is your 10 people that you put in for player slots. And here is your spawn points. And as you can tell right here, now right here is important, where it says type in Exile spawn zone. And we're just going to copy that, double click here, and put that in. And now click Save. Go ahead and close this one. We're going to keep this one open still. Now we're going to open up Arma again. Go back into Editor. Actually, hang on first real quick. Minimize Armor 3. We're going to go in here, go into your MP missions, into Australia, click on Customs, click on ACD, I mean, and then open that in Notepad. Sorry, I have another Notepad open. And here is where you put, your coordinates and everything. Since we only have 2 places, we copy this and then paste it again. And then we open up the traders one that you opened. And then what we do here is, all we do is copy from just the coordinates. Copy. And then override this one. Paste. And do the same for the next one. Okay, right here where it says 347. This is the ID for the safe zone. You cannot have two of them the same, so you need to change them. So let's make this 1. And this one 2. And as you can tell, there is no, airplane vendor or boat vendor or anything like that. I mean, I don't read the group I play with. We don't care about boats, but we want planes. So let me show you how to put planes in there now. So we save this, because when I talk about putting planes in, all we're going to do is put it under the vehicle trader. And I'll show you how to do that. This is why I told you to leave this one open right here. We come all the way down here. And then we find the plane vendor. And by the way, one of the episodes I made, 2 YouTube videos, shows you how to add, stuff into this. But let's go to the, okay, here we're getting close to it. Oh, this is the one where I put everything in the fast food vendor. Well, let's take care of that real quick. I'm going to pause the video while I take care of this. Okay, sorry about that. But as you can tell, that's how you can put everything under one vendor if you want one vendor in there. But since we're using the mobile trader, so this is what you do. Go under, airplanes, copy it, and then cut it, and then paste it pretty much right here. And then that's all you do. Save the file, close it, go to traders. Oh, since this is already done, we don't need that open anymore, so close it. Back out of it. And that's it so far on that. Now, we open up Arma. Click on continue. And now once it's open, we click on the load folder. Test. Zoom out. Click on markers. Didn't work. Oh, no, that's right. It's right there. As you can tell, now you have a spawn point for there. And there. Now I'm going to show you something else that's pretty dang cool. Okay, we're going to close this since we didn't change nothing. Yeah. Minimize this. Now we're going to copy this. Copy. Go into the missions file and then paste all of this in there. Now what you're going to get to see is something pretty neat. Now we open up Arma, go back into the editor, back into Australia, and then we open it up again. That's all because I did something. Now what we do is click here. Oh no, we put the trader in over here. Click there. Oh crap, did the wrong one. Load it. Oh. Alright, let me pause it. Let me fix that. Yeah, if you, follow my very first video, you won't be having this issue. I did a bunch of things, and me and my buddies have been playing on this, and we did some stuff to it, so hang on. Okay, everybody, I encountered an error, and I figured out what was wrong. In your config, under your, mission file, here, go into Notepad and delete the .quf at the end of this, and then save the file. And then on this one, I accidentally told you, make sure it's not the same number, and I put it the same number, 1 and 1, and I changed this one to 2. So that was the 2 errors I ran into. Okay, and now, as you can tell, it's working now, no errors, no nothing. So we're going to go down here. Actually, we're going to go with the Darwin. And we're going to create a character. And then we're going to preview. And check it out. There's the spawn vendor building and everything. The spawn vendors won't be, showing until you start the server and everything. Whoops. But this is where, darn it. This is where all the vendors go and everything. And this is the one where you get your territory from. So, all in all, that's working. So, now as you can tell, everything's working and your spawn points in and everything. So what we're going to do is, we're going to exit the, save and exit, delete the character that we put in, save it. Now I'm going to exit this. Well, you want to exit it because since we have the editor in there, now, and after you're done editing, putting in all the spawn points and putting in all the traders, you do not need the editor anymore. Now, after you're done with that, what you do is come in, to your test folder, copy the missions file, and then put it over here. Now that all this is done, oh yeah, I forgot to change this one. Oh yeah, I forgot I gotta change that too, or I'll get the error again. Which one was it again? I think it was the window kit. Nope, nope. Yep, there it is. I ended up putting 2 of them in there on accident. Okay, now save that. Darn it. Don't ask me what that was about. Now remember to fix this part where I accidentally screwed up on you. Yeah, because if you don't remove that SQF, it'll really screw it up. Alright, now we save it. Exit. And after you're done, editing the map, like I said, all you do is go through here and make sure you put Exile spawn. And as you can tell here, I have the boat vendors in there on my server and everything, which I don't have them on the map, but since they're here, they'll show up. And as you can tell, I have more spawn, Oh, this is my... Okay, whoopsie. I was showing you something different. But as you can tell, with this one, you have the 10 players, which will show right here, 10 items, which is 10 players. And then your 2 spawn points. And as you can tell in this one, I don't have any other extra traders. Now that that's done, we go back here, turn this into a PBO, and delete the file. Some people say you can do that, and some people say, you don't have to create a PTO and everything, but I do, so, yeah, cover my butt, if you know what I mean. Then we close the test folder. Now what we do is we go back here. Battle Eye, everything's good on Battle Eye. Now, for people, who don't know how to do this part, make sure you change this part right here to Australia. And since the mission file is lowercase, I'm just going to make this lowercase. That way there's no problems. Max players, 10 players, so everything's good. I'm just checking to make sure everything is in order and everything. Yeah, you always want to double and triple check everything. Alright, looks like everything working fine, so I'm going to go down here. And if anybody does not have this who's watching this video, you can get this through Amaholic. It's TADST. Darn it. Click on it. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to label it FTC Test. FTC Australia Test. Put a password of A. Admin password. I'm just going to put FTC. Steam point left at that. This needs to be changed to a 3. 10 players. Then we come up to rules. Uncheck it and then uncheck, voting. Make sure all 3 of these are checked. Go to missions. Refresh this. Why is it showing 2 mission files? I have no idea. But as you can tell, it's the lowercase one, so. Go to mods. Make sure Australia's clicked, Epoch, Exile and Exile server. And also, the cup. And now that everything, difficult, performance, and now that all this is done, you want to type in here dash auto INIT. Now I'm going to save this as a new one, Australia. I thought I was supposed to be capitalized. The I in front of the N is supposed to be capitalized. Probably not, but I'm playing it safe. And this, you double click it and it automatically, puts in that. Now that that's all done, yes, I want to save it. Make sure everything is good again. We click launch. Now this takes a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while this is doing it. Alright, as you can tell, everything is working good now. Just gotta wait for this thing to say unlocked. And you can just keep refreshing this, or go to recents and just keep waiting for it to refresh. There's our fitness server that we play on a lot. So I'll be back when it's done. And don't be surprised if this thing actually takes quite a while to upload, because Australia is a big map, and so is the Epoch mod. Sorry, the Exile mod. They're pretty big, so don't be surprised if it takes up to 10 minutes for this thing to unlock and everything. So, be back when it's done. Okay, the server unlocked and everything, and I logged into it. And now I'm just waiting for it to finish loading. And let me choose a spawn point, so I'll come back to it when it's done. Alright, as you can tell, everything went good. So, here's my 2 spawn points. Here is where, you first start out. So, let's go to Darwin. And as you can tell, that spawn point is working there for the vendor. Let's click over here on this one, and that one's working. So, that is your safety zone. So, I'm going to go to Darwin, and then run like a little chicken with his head cut off to get over there to where I need to get to. And let me pause it while it's doing all this and all this stuff, and I'll run over there when I get to it and unpause it. As you can tell, so far so good. That's run my butt off. My video's a little lagging because I'm recording and running a dedicated server at the same time. So I'm gonna pause the video and show you the vendor when I get there. Okay, as you can tell, the vendors are here. So we're gonna walk up to the vehicle one. And as you can tell, helicopters, planes, cars, trucks, everything's on him. So we cancel him. Loot spawns in your area. Which reminds me, I forgot to show y'all how to do that. To make sure nothing but Australia loot pops up. And here's all the other vendors. Whoopee, everything works. Yay! So, and yeah, by the way, I found a bike. Alright everybody, it's me again. Sorry. Stopped the video to sorry, stop the video to add money onto my account, and I will show you how to do that in a video. See, I ended up giving myself 100,000. So, just to prove that everything is working, now we go to the vendor, buy a vehicle. I want a freaking truck. No, sorry. Car. Yeah, let's get Strider. I'm just typing numbers in. And look at there. Boom, everything works. Now we're going to go inside. I wonder if I can sell the bike. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Keep this bikey rollin'. There's the trash guy. Get out. Where'd he go? Recycle. Look at there, I got 25. Yep, it went bye-bye. Now make sure I got the money. Yep, I got it. Hot damn. And I'll show you how to put all that in there too, which I think I already did on one video. Alright, I'm gonna go in and see if everything else works. I don't want him. I want to change the clothes, get out of this stupid damn hat. Okay, backpack. Carry all backpack, olive green. Uniform. Getting some combat fatigues. Huh. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the Kevlar on here. Ah, screw it. Carry. Oh. See, I'm learning something new. Where's the 160? Okay, good enough for me. Oh, let's just go through them all. Alright, looks like the 160. Good enough. And helmet. Alright, and as you can tell, everything works. Put all that stuff over there with this guy. Put that there. That there. Alright guys, I forgot to show you how to put nothing but Australia loot in. So what you want to do is go back to your server, go into your mission file, unpack it. Actually, this is not, I think this is where you go. Let me double check. Nope, this is not where you go. So we'll just delete that folder then. Here we go. Unpack the server config. And this is where we put it. So what we do is we highlight from here all the way to get rid of all of this. Because this is all stuff from Altus and all that stuff, and you'll get some errors eventually if you don't fix it. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to just dang it. Okay, and now we just delete it. Alright, and then we go back to here, open up this file. Hang on, right. Alright, then open up the Australia loot. Select all, copy, and then we come here, paste it all right there, and let's make sure everything's working and everything's good. And then we close everything. Alright, and that's everything, I think. So we come back over here. Whoops. Delete this one. Actually, I am going to double check some other stuff. Alright, this is where all the loot coordinates are. That's all the loot stuff there. Alright, here in my other file, video, I showed you how to, add all this stuff in. Went through pretty much detail on how to do the stuff. So, anyway, just double checking everything. Oh, and by the way, if you want it all sunny, like all the time, I recommend just getting rid of this right here. And I did some searching on the internet for some forums and everything, and I found a spot where you can change this right here, or use this for server real time, but you change this to, I can't remember some date. I would have to, I can't remember, but it was something like 3 hours of daylight and 1 hour of darkness, and all I had to do was change this date and all this stuff, and it actually worked. And like right here, I have this one set for 3 hours, which I'm going to change this to 4. I have the auto lock, which is fine with me, and pretty much everything else is good. So, alrighty, thanks for watching. But now you know for a fact the server's working just fine. So, oh, and since we're using this, I actually am right. I do not have to put the... Alright, let me create this and let me get back on track with y'all. Huh? Yeah. I can actually leave this as a folder. So And as you can tell, see right here, get rid of that. And as you can tell, now it's just a folder. So we double click on that, save it, and now everything's working. Alright, thanks for watching.